All right, we are live. This is number 5 out of 6. We got one more after today. The Business Manuals Mastermind. Ryan in here. His beautiful wife is somewhere in the other part of the house on the computer. Miss Crystal, how you doing? I don't even know if you got it on mute. She does. She has it on mute.
I'm good.
You should be wore out with that boat ride yesterday, bouncing around.
Yeah, it was a good time though.
Yeah, it looked like it. Man, that's crazy. Hey, today is the employee handbook. I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit. And then next week, we're going to kind of just recap everything, but go over how to make it a habit of using the manuals every day. Because it's one thing to invest the money, invest the time, and then only use the manuals when you fall into trouble or you hit challenges and then you run back and go, what the hell? It's like we need to live it day by day. And I'm going to talk about that, how to make it a habit to where you don't have to go back into it. Today is, and I don't know, it's like every week I could say, this is the most important. Because, I mean, it's like, it's all the most important, I guess. And I just want, and I kept looking for, hey, Big Caesar. And I kept looking for different
Good afternoon.
videos.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man, you're good, brother. We just did start.
I'm late. We're still in the job site here. That means I'm going to be driving for a little bit.
Oh, that's good, man. You working? I wanted to start with another video, and I was trying to find a video other than Tommy Mello. I went through a whole bunch of different employee minute, videos to try to highlight, and I couldn't find anything better than Tommy's, because in the video he touches on some stuff that I've taught for the last 35 years. So I'm going to hit present, and then we're going to watch Tommy yell at you, and then I'm going to come back and yell at you.
There's a lot of reasons why employees quit, but a lot of times they just fade out. And the reason why is you're not having one-on-ones. You're not taking the time to talk about their goals, their dreams, their aspirations in life. So what I would recommend is sit down and talk about their family. Get their significant other on board and their kids. And where does this happen? It does not happen at work. It happens outside of work, at a dinner, at ping pong tournament that you throw. It could happen playing volleyball. The top companies in the world, whether it's Intel, Google, so the top companies have team building events and they learn to trust each other and they have fun together. And the number one rule that I learned from a recruiter that's been in recruiting for 40 years, she said the number one reason why people do not quit their current jobs is they have a best friend. They formed a relationship at that company and they don't want to leave because they'd be leaving that relationship. There's a lot of reasons why employees quit, but a lot of times.
Why do you look like she was leaving?
There we go. Hey, did everybody get that? If you're not on mute, if you're unmute, if you're not on mute, is and I wanted to show that one because he does talk about their dreams and their goals. And in 92, 93, way before I become a motivational so-called speaker, when I met Zig Ziglar for the first time at one of his presentations, he talked about employees and your team and their dreams. And that always stuck with me. And shoot, probably 98, 99, when I was doing business seminars for different warehouses around here, supply chains and stuff. One of the things I always talked about was employees. It's always been my thing on hiring and training employees, hiring and training the best employees. And even way back then, this is before my daughter, who's taken over the business now. All I had was my stepdaughter and my first daughter. But and I used to talk about is no matter how great of a guy I think I am, and my kids think I'm the best, is none of my employees think I'm the best. I mean, they're not showing up to make me, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year because I'm a good guy. They all show up for their own reasons. And I knew way back then that I had to always keep that in the forefront of their mind. I've been teaching this for over 30 years, and I love because Tommy Mello talks about it also. Is so when I'm talking to, even now when I show up, I just showed up a couple of weeks ago before I went camping, and I was talking to two of the young dudes, and they were like, "Oh man, they just went up to Idaho Falls which is probably a 12-hour drive from here. And it's in two dudes, like Tommy just said, they're best friends. So they're best friends working together on the job, just, loving life right now. They take this road trip together because one dude, they've been making, probably more money than they ever made. And the dude saved up and he bought some 2024, some kind of special 5.0 Ford Mustang or something. It had everything that he wanted, but it was 12 hours away. So he's like, hey man, you want to do a road trip? And they were like, oh man, let's do it. So it was fun listening to them and just, reminiscing, talking about my young glory days and how, they drive 12 hours, nobody's sleeping, hop in a car, turn around and drive 12 hours back, stopping here and there. But it's that kind of stuff, man. It's like, because again, man, no one's going to come to work for you because you're a great person, period. I mean, it kind of starts off that way, as in no one wants to work for a dick, for sure. But they still have their own things. And you've heard me tell you, it's like, as soon as we have the employee handbook. Everybody has a copy of that. Change it around, make it your own. But write that because that just sets the standard. And again, you've heard the videos where Tommy says if your employees are doing something wrong, it's your fault. It's because it's not in the manuals. It's because you haven't taught them. And if you have taught them and they're doing it wrong more than once, it's because you need to let them go. Hire slow, fire fast. All of that. But besides the employee manual, two books that I give them immediately, and I have given this book away, these books over and over and over again. The first one is The Richest Man in Babylon. It's just an extremely easy book to read. I give them the audio book also. And then the other one for me is As a Man Thinketh. That's another, I probably have a copy in one of my drawers. It's another easy to read, and I do the audio book also. Sometimes I even made an audio book on my own, going through the book and highlighting the things that I liked about it. But I want them to know how to save money. It's not enough to pay them good. You got to pay them more. And I almost did an Alex Hormozy video saying expensive lawyers. What the hell did Alex say? He said expensive lawyers are expensive. Expensive lawyers are cheap, but cheap lawyers end up being extremely expensive, meaning they cost you even more because you're trying to save money. And it makes sense. But he says, just like Tommy says, like I've said, like, anyone who's running a legitimate business will tell you, is paid 15, 20, 25, 30% more than your competition to get the good guys. One good guy can do more than 2 or 3 bad or okay guys. You're not going to hire the bad dudes, but you want the really good guys. You want everything from the way they show up, the way they're going to set the standards, the way they're going to take to these manuals. They're going to set the example for everyone else. When they show up and you're not around, the homeowners are going to love them. All of that stuff. And we've got, it's like, I'm almost jealous they're not showing up at my house to work, because every homeowner loves them and baking them cookies and all of that shit. And they're going out of their way and yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, hanging the plastic. Oh, you need that move? Let me get it. If the homeowner showed up with groceries, they'd stop painting. They'd stop doing the floor. They'd run out there and help them bring in the freaking groceries, that kind of stuff. And it's like kind of like Chick-fil-A. It's like you go to Chick-fil-A and they can't train that type of personality into people. They hire the people with those personalities. You hear me over and over and over again say, never hire for the experience, hire the attitude. Because the guys you hire for experience, oh man, this is the best painter, this is the best floor guy, this is the best roofer, this is the best. It's like maybe, but they may come with baggage. I watched a couple of other videos I was going to share with you. Is like, they've got the attitude. They think they're the best. Maybe they are, but they're not your best. And you got to go in and retrain them how you do things, because when they start doing things that aren't your way, other guys and other employees are going to see it and they're going to start going, well, oh shit, if Doug can do it like that and get away with it, I can do it the way I think is better. And it's like, no, that just starts a whole dominoes effect. I've got my procedures down that I've done for over 30 years. And if we're going to do something new and in a different way, then we're going to do a lot of training around it, and everybody's going to know about we're changing that system, and here's why we're changing that system, and here's how we're going to be doing it from now on. It ain't going to be some dude flying solo because he thinks his way is better than my way. Hell no. I don't need that mistake. And maybe his way is better. And like I said, and if it is, God bless him. I'll pay him for it. I'll retrain everybody because and the way I judge is it better is not quality, it's quantity and speed. And does it increase my profit bottom line? That's my bottom line profit. Does it increase the speed? Does it make more of a profit? That's what I care about. And when you hire these guys who are the best in their industry, they're not going to be the best for you. Hire guys that you've got to have your systems. That's what these manuals are for. Throughout the owner's manual and definitely the sales rep / project manager manual, it has whatever trade you're in, you have your step-by-step procedure of how you do it. This is what we do first when we show up. This is where we park. This is what we do. We go in, we do this. Talked to a contractor like 2 weeks ago, and he does custom cabinets. And I said, are you working on your manuals and all the other stuff? And he said, oh man, every job is different. I couldn't have manuals for what I do. And I'm like, the conversation's over. Everybody thinks they're above the law. It's like, dude, there's like, no, man. The cabinets may be custom, and I'm not talking about JB, Ryan, because JB has the systems. But I almost wanted him to get on the phone with JB. I'm like, dude,
That's the guy.
Yeah, it's like every job is different, but here's how we operate out of all of them. Here's how we get to that customization. In the hardwood flooring, most of the jobs that we do refinishing wise are almost custom. It's rare that a stain comes out of the can and they say, yeah, we love it. We're usually mixing something, whether it's lightening it a little bit or adding a little bit of brown to make the gray not so green, something. And we go over that in all of our procedures. And here's how we do it. And here's the samples that we do, all of that stuff. But there's no way you can't have it written down. If you do something more than once, meaning if you've done it twice and you may never do it again, if you've done it twice, write that shit down. Because when the third time comes around, and it will, it needs to be written down so someone knows how to handle it. And that's what needs to be. And you may not have all of that in your training manuals, but you and you may in our training manuals, employee handbook. It's how we really. It's really based on attitude, what we expect out of them, and what they can expect out of us. Again, is you should have I've got video after video on how to hire. You're always hiring. Never hire when you need someone. Always be hiring. That kind of stuff. Have a designated phone number, designated line with a recording, have a designated web page, and look for the good people with the attitudes. And I admit, man, I'm a dick. I'm a jerk. So many times I see guys posting on Facebook groups, or they'll start arguing with me about how you can't hire anybody. They're all babies. You got to babysit them. No one wants to work anymore. I mean, I could go through an hour list of the negative shit that every freaking contractor tells me. And my response is always the same. No one wants to work for you because you suck, period. 100%. 100%. That sentence never changes. Mm-hmm. Nobody who the fuck wants to work for you? Nobody. Why would they? Why would they? I do not do couple counseling. I tell people, find a woman like I did who will put up with you for 20 years and then spend the next 60 years making it up to her. That's my couple counseling. But if I was going to do couple counseling, it's the same thing I say about hiring employees. Take one sheet of paper, write down every ingredient you can. Be as specific over the top as you can on what you're looking to hire. How they show up, how they talk, how they answer, how they look, how they dress, the education that they have or don't have, how they take to and remember and stuff. I mean, write it all down. If it takes 2 sheets of paper, fine. If it takes 3 sheets of paper, fine. Write it down and look at it and reread it and rewrite it and reread it and rewrite it. And when you got it to where you can sit back and go, man, If I had 5 or 10 of those, I'd be a billionaire by the end of this century. When you have it that good, take that same paper, flip it over, and then write down what kind of person and business you have to be to attract that type of employee. And I say that because of relationship wise, as I've told guys, I said, dude, you want this girl here, boom, boom, boom. You want her to be this way. You want her to do this. You want her to do that. Write it all down. Flip the page over and then write down what kind of person would you have to become to attract that woman. Shit never changes. It doesn't change. You have to be the kind of person that type of person would work for. And until you, and it ain't, oh man, well, if I hired 2 or 3 of those type of guys, I could be that kind of person. No, no, and no. It's like saying, oh man, God, give me this great crop this year, man, and I'll have enough, I'll save some of that so I got seeds for next year. It's not that kind of world. And as my buddy Jim Rohn would say, it's like, I wouldn't sign up for that class. It's just like, look, when you create your own universe and your own earth, you can plan it out any way you want. But right now we have to deal with what we have right now. And what we have to deal with right now is you have to plant the seeds, work the seeds, and then you get the reward. And it's not going to change ever. It may change on Mars when Elon plants some shit out there. I don't know. But until then, we have to deal with what we've got, and that you have to become that type of person. And I've told you guys over and over and over again, as soon as you say you're going into business for yourself, as soon as you say, I'm my own company, I work for all of that shit, you are now your first employee. Write this book for yourself and show up every day being that kind of person that you want to hire. Oh man, I can't do that, man. It's like, no shit. Are you overreaching? Are you expecting the unexpected? I don't know. All I do know is it starts with you. If you can't do it, don't expect someone else to do it. Everything that I ask someone to do is something I either do right now or I've done so many times before. I give those books away because I've listened to those books and I've read those books a minimum of 100 times. And depending on what their goals and dreams are, I know what books they should be reading, and I do both. I do the audio books and I do the soft cover books, the hardcover books, and I give it to them. And we do the family groups, or every now and then is, we always have to get together for lunch with all the guys where we all sit around and just talk shit to each other and all have fun. But then you want to go out, like Tommy just said, you want to have some alone time, depending on who they are. And you'll see people in your organization to where they're going to be around forever. And you want that person to be one of the sales reps / project managers who oversees 2 or 3 crews. And you take him and the wife to dinner, or if he's not married, you take him to dinner. My wife always comes along. Now, Danielle would come along, the Miguel, the partner, and we rack it out for them, man. We show them, boy, in the next 2 or 3 years, you could be here. 5 years after that, you could be running, 2 crews. 5 years after that, you could be running 3 crews. And with each crew, here's where the numbers are. If that's, something that you want. Matter of fact, if you follow our systems, there may come a time to where, like, we've got one guy, his mother may end up moving back to Arkansas. And he's like, man, I don't know what I would do, Brian. I love working with you guys and this and that, but man, it's my mom. And it's like, dude, if that ever happens, and you love what you're doing right now, your mom moves to Arkansas, we'll just open up a location in Arkansas and you'll run it. And his eyes got as big as freaking golf balls. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah, man. I said, I ain't telling you to go home and tell the mom to pack up. I said, if that happens, it's like, yeah, man, we take, it's like, you stay on this track that you're at right now. And because I tell all these dudes the same thing the old men told me when I got into the industry. If you learn how to do this trade, you'll never go without a job, and you'll be able to work anywhere in the world. Those 2 statements, even though I really didn't know what it meant, and I don't even know if I believed it as a kid, but I pretty much believed everything these guys told me because I kind of worshiped them. They were like 76 and from World War II, still smoking, man, no filters, badasses, big ass hands, like, yeah. But when they said, it's like, man, okay. Yeah, and but that always stuck with me, and it's always been true. Uh, it's there, but and that's what this whole employee handbook is about. I'm going to open it up to you guys, but before I do, is like I put together those employee handbook, the fill in the blank templates for each of these manuals. We went back and redid that. In the beginning of this one, I put start here, set the tone before day one, because you're not just hiring hands, you're building a crew that represents your name. And then I did like a message to you, the business owner. Most contractors just throw new guys in. I know we did, and hope that they just figure it out. It's like you send them with 2 other guys and they'll show you what to do, that kind of shit. And that's why the jobs go sideways. The homeowners get annoyed. Good employees leave after a few weeks. There's no structure. There's nothing. There's no clear training, no clear expectations, and no real leadership being passed down. But not you. You're here because you're building something better. This employee handbook is more than a list of rules. It's the foundation for your company's culture. A simple, clear tool to help your crew understand what's expected out of them, how to act on the job, what professionalism really looks like, and how to represent your name with pride. And we did it forever. I always wanted the guys wearing our shirts, no matter where they were at, but I made it extremely clear that if they are wearing our shirts, no matter if it's Saturday, Sunday, 9 o'clock at night, wherever it is, if they're wearing those shirts, they're representing us. So if they're going to act stupid, take that damn shirt off. And I think I told you guys that. Les Brown told me years ago. He said you're on stage the minute you walk out of your house and head for your next speaking event. And I was like, I said, I guess. Because what the hell you mean you guess? Because you're on stage the minute you walk out of your house and head for your next event. He goes, man, you get in the car, you could be driving to the airport. You're late. You may pass and cut off some dude and flip him off on the way to the airport. If you're going to the airport, you may be just driving to the event. Next thing you know, you're up there on stage talking about motivation this, personal development that, and be nice to people. And the dude sitting in the audience going, that motherfucker just flipped me off an hour ago. and when he said that, it was funny as hell, but it was true as hell. And he said, like, they could be sitting on you. They could be sitting, on the plane next to you in the airport, anything. He said, but it just shouldn't be that you're faking it, or it shouldn't be because you're stepping out of the house going to the event. Become that person and be that person at all time. It's that whole freaking, what a web we weave when first we practice to deceive type of shit. You start lying and you start trying to fake it and be someone you're not, it's going to eventually come out, whether it's someone you're hiring or getting on the job site, or if you're dating a girl and you're trying to fake it and you're trying to do all this stuff that you think she wants you to do and be. You can only do that for so long. The real you is going to show up. The real Slim Shady is going to show up. So it's either become that person or let people know you're the jerk in the beginning. Let them say, hey, I work for a jerk, but he pays real good, so I don't care. And I don't like some of these other guys who have all the rules and the handbooks and the manuals. I don't want to work for somebody like that anyway, because I can't fuck off. So just get it out of the way immediately. And then at the back of the book, I put in, this handbook isn't just about rules. It's about raising the bar for your crew, for yourself, and for the kind of company that you want to lead. Every page in this handbook helps you create a professional team that takes pride in their work, communicates better, treats homeowners with respect, and understands what's expected. So you don't have to micromanage them every day. Build a crew you're proud of, make it clear what you stand for, hold your team accountable to your standards, reward great behavior, and don't tolerate what doesn't fit your mission. Because you're not just building a business, you're building a reputation. You're building something you can one day sell, hand off, or expand. And this handbook is just one more step toward getting there. Leadership is creating clarity and direction. This handbook is your tool to lead with both. So I don't know, like, if you guys have went through all of the manuals, this would be the last one. And again, I think before everybody got on, it was just me and Ryan. And I said, I guess at the beginning of every one of these freaking calls, there's a part of me that always wants to say, man, this is the most important, man. It's like, because they all seem to be the most important, because everything is connected to everything. There's not one is more important than the other. It's like you got to have all the other stuff. I mean, I don't know. Does it start with the owner's operating manual? Does it start with the office manager? It kind of starts with all of it. The owner's manual really is, I guess, it has everything in it. And then all the other ones are just kind of fine tuning it. It really starts with you and what kind of company you want to be. You go back to the owner's manual. But then it just starts with, even before that, it starts with all the videos that I keep sharing with you guys, with the content and how to grow the business. Because if you don't have business, you don't have a business. So you got to do all of that stuff even before you quit your day job. You're doing side jobs, you're making the videos, you're building your website the way it should be built, you're getting your Google business, and as you're doing side jobs and I don't know, and hopefully you work for a guy that's not a jerk. And like if anybody came to me and said, man, I love everything that you're doing, but I still want my own company. And I get that, because I've got, and back, it's like, and it's because I didn't do it. I probably got 8 guys around here that used to work for me, and I helped them start their own business. Would I do it different now? Man, I don't know. Some people just want the name of their company. They want their last name as the company. And my first company had my last name, and that's why it would never be my name again, because I learned that lesson. So I try to teach these guys that. But if they still wanted their own thing, I would help them as much as I can. My goal is to make sure they reach their full potential in life, not their full potential with my company. And I hope my company could help them reach that full potential, because most of the time, the majority of people don't want their own company. There's just too much shit that goes with it. If they can make a great amount of money, a great living, support their family, buy a house, take some vacations, that's what most people want. And then feel like, and feel good at the end of the day because they're working with someone who's working toward something. And that all starts with you guys. And I get so frustrated with other construction groups, is because I don't know if I don't know. I want to say 80% because I believe in the 80-20 rule, but in all reality, it may be 97% of contractors never become more than self-employed. They never get to the whole Robert Kiyosaki's 4 quadrants. Employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. They get stuck in the self-employed quadrant. And I mean, and if they're happy, I'm happy for them. I know too many guys that are there and they'll try to lie and say they're happy. And I know they're not, because of the stress that comes from being self-employed. And when you're just grinding and grinding and grinding, you're always behind the 8 ball, and God damn, it gets frustrating. To where most of these guys, and if you're in any of these Facebook groups that I'm in, you've heard me tell dudes all the time, it's like, hey man, just give it the fuck up and go get a job. Honestly, if you're not going to change what you're doing, and this is how you're going to operate, I swear to God, I am not saying it to be a dick. I'm not saying it. I mean, I truly, truly, honestly believe it's like, look, you ain't cut out for it. Go get a job. Your family will thank you. Go get a job with one of these companies who are doing everything that they should be doing, because you'll earn way more money. Even if you earn the same amount of money, you get to clock out at the end of the day. You get to say, hey, I need a week off. I need 2 weeks off. You save up your money, do whatever, plan for it. But you have this ego to where, oh man, I'm better than the guy that's running that business. Not back in the day, because I was pretty damn good. But now the dudes that we hire are way better than me, because my definition of being better than me is being able to do it faster than me and make more profit. So I'm not as fast as I was back then. I used to be extremely fast and would talk shit to everybody on the job site. I told you, man, it's like, I look back at me now. I was camping with my buddies this weekend, like, all my karate buddies, and we were all joking around. And I said, I swear to God, if I had a time machine, I would go back and kick the 18-year-old Brian Adams' ass over and over again. And I don't know if it would do him any good. But I don't know how. The only reason these guys didn't fire me is because I made them so much money. I made it hard on them, Oh, and the only thing that was hard on him was because I was so good. It was like I was the dude who said, no, my way's better than your way, and they just went with it because they didn't care because they just at the end of the day they wanted the money, they wanted this, and I drove everybody else around me to do it better and faster. I mean, even when we were in Mexico City, several times working, I mean, we partied hard, we worked even harder. Uh, I mean, I'd be the dude that stayed out to the bar. The bar would close at 2 o'clock. We'd go to Denny's till 4 o'clock. I'd leave Denny's and go straight to work and work harder than the day before because I didn't want anybody to know I hadn't had any sleep. But I always worked, first. I've never understood that whole thing is like if I've never been an alcohol drinker or any drugs. One, because of my family. But then once I became a martial artist, I thought, man, I'm going to end up kicking somebody's ass tonight. I don't want it to be because I was drunk and didn't know what I was doing. I want to know exactly why I whipped their ass. But then, so I never did the whole alcohol and drug thing. But I do work for a lot of guys. And if I worked with 10 guys who did drugs or alcohol, 3 of them could somehow maintain it. I don't know. They showed up to work every day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. They'd put in their 8 hours or 10 hours a day. And then, and then it was straight to the bar. And then there was the 7 that couldn't. They show up sick or late or not at all and calling in. And you could not grow a business that way. They're too unfreaking reliable. You tell homeowners that someone's going to show up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then they don't show up because the dude's hung over somewhere, is take it from me because I spent 10, 15 years trying to save these guys. I would always hire from the halfway house in drug rehab. I always wanted these guys to freaking do better. And it just didn't work out. Out of 100 guys that we've hired and tried to help, 3 of them are still in the industry and doing great. A lot of you guys know some of them. I ain't gonna say names. But I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't let my daughter and her partner go down that road. And again, that's ego. That's me wanting to pat my own back. Oh, I'm saving these dudes. I'm doing that. It's like, it ain't worth it, man. It's like your business, your reputation, and your family. You guys are building these businesses for your families. So when you start going down that road, you're putting their interest in front of your family's interest first. In front of the business, in front of your employees. You're building these businesses so you can pay these guys more, so you can give them more opportunities. And you start going down that road trying to hire people that can't be saved because you want to feel good about yourself, and all the rewards come to you in heaven. God bless you, but all it's doing is hurting your family and the employees that really deserve it. In network marketing, again, multi-level marketing, love those dudes. But they have a saying that's like, work with the people who deserve it, not the ones you think need it. Work with the ones who show you they deserve it, not with the ones who you think need it. And again, we go after these people we know we can help them. Oh man, I can save that person. I can do this. I can do that. And if they just show us like, look, man, they don't. No. Time is extremely valuable, and you don't have enough to go out there and save everybody. Leave that for, I don't know, the priest and the Catholics and Mother Teresa. Build the best business that you can so you can turn it over to your family so you can sell it. If you don't have any family and you don't want to sell it, man, leave it for your 2 or 3 top employees and tell them, say, hey, man, I don't have anybody that wants to, I don't want to sell this company. You guys have helped me build it. I want to leave it to you guys. And that's the one thing I would do different if I went back 30 years. I would have probably sold the Adams Hardwood Flooring because should have never named a company after your name. It just doesn't work. But after that, I would have maybe just changed the name. I wouldn't have sold any company. I would have sold 75% of it or 70% of it, kept 30%, so that you always had the residual income coming in, and then work it out somehow, because you have to do the whole 2 or 3 years. You can't the non-compete, that type of thing. But who's had a chance to go through the employee handbook? Who wants to go first?
I've been through it.
What do you think, Ryan?
I love it. It was a game changer, to be honest with you. really made me think about the way I operate my company and my employees. Some of the stuff I put up with that I shouldn't put up with, some of the things that, we could do better, and a lot of things that just needs to be up front when you hire these guys. I actually am working on writing up. I'm going to give them a book, a manual, but I'm also going to write a piece of paper, like a contractual agreement, that you agree to these terms and conditions of the manual. And when you're hired, you're going to sign it. Actually, all my employees now, they're going to sign it as well, that they've read it, they understand it, and they will abide by it. And so they're going to sign it. I'm going to file it away. And if we have problems, we have ways of discipline and then termination, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing, is like, if you don't teach them and tell them, you can't expect them to know it. I mean, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch the video after video. It's like, when my younger buddies told me that so long ago, he's like, Brian, you're just not specific with these guys. You think because you know it, they know it, and you'll give them, like a couple of sentences and think that they understand, and they don't. I'm like, well, they should. And he's like, why should they? Dude, you're not getting it. And that was me just being young and dumb and just any of that.
I took some of my employees out shooting a couple weeks ago, and man,
I love that.
Yeah,
man, I love that.
And I brought the whole arsenal. We shot the ARs, we shot the handguns, we shot skeet, and full freaking day just shooting all day.
And I haven't done it in a while, but another great thing is like on a Friday, or just, for whatever reason, I like Fridays, but I golf on Fridays, but maybe a Thursday. But man, those if you show up with those, you can get them for like $60, those collapsible grills that have the roll, they have the wheels, and you roll it up, and you show up to the job site, you got 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys working, you show up at like 10:30, 11 o'clock, man, you pour out the charcoal, you light it up, you have the cooler with some, Diet Cokes, Coca-Colas, whatever the hell it is, hamburgers and hot dogs, and make lunch for them, once a month. Man, that goes a long ways. They all love it. Or, and around here, they're starting to do it a little bit more, but our supplies houses used to, at least once a month, would have like, fish or barbecues or something. And I would always, take off early, have 2 or 3 job sites going, and everybody knew, hey man, meet us over in Irvine at Gallagher. We're gonna all, and it was just fun. You got to meet all these other guys, and like, oh man, ain't you scared these guys are gonna try to steal your employees? I'm like, they should. I'm gonna try to steal theirs. But no, it's like, if you treat them right, no one's gonna steal anybody. But man, we'd show up and talk shit to all the other business guys. We're all friends. We're all doing the same thing. No competition. And then the food would be free, and the guys loved it. That kind of stuff, man, is gonna go forever. And then you want to do, once or twice a year, you want to do, whether it's like Anthony, Sunshine Design out in Boise. Man, he took a bunch of dudes out to Top Golf, and I was like, damn, brother, that's expensive. He goes, yeah, man, they make you some money, blah, blah, blah. But so I ain't saying Top Golf, because that shit, and I say it's expensive, but yet I've never even been, but definitely go somewhere, whether it's the bowling alley or just out to a nice dinner and have them bring the family, any of that stuff. I mean, if you got several employees who have kids, you can do a Chuck E. Cheese night and just flip the bill for everybody. Whatever it is, man, make it family oriented. And always, I'll go back to the video that we started with Tommy Mello, is always know what their dreams and aspirations are. Whether it's going on a certain vacation, saving up to get a house. Because as soon as I hear that, my first thing is, where's your credit? And what do we need to do to get your credit up? Because that's what's going to, and then we need to save money and put them on a 5-year plan to save up money and work out their credit so that they can buy a house. And then, I've got guys that can help, that kind of stuff. But at least they're working towards something. Hey, Doug, you there, brother? Would you?
Yes, sir.
I love that video your daughter did, man. Damn, I appreciate that. Good for her. Because most women, period, don't want to do the video, but 2, younger kids or your younger generation don't want to do it. But Yeah, man. She's jumped in, man. Good for her.
Well, every time I do a video for you, you never put it out, so I figure I suck at it. So I figure I let.
That's not true a little bit, man. Hey, but I see
I
the
just
picture.
deleted. I just deleted. Like I did one video. I must have did 20 something takes. I just deleted all those videos recently
Oh
to get
man.
space on my phone.
Hey,
I'm like, yeah, Jesus Christ.
hey, you posted a picture. It looked like you were in New York or something. What was that?
That was just, you know how the phone tells you your
Memories or
yeah,
something?
it was New York, but I think it was last year.
A memory.
Yeah, you know how the phone comes up like, oh, this
Yep.
is where you were at last year at this time.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then I think the first manual that Doug went to was the employee manual. I don't know. Was it Doug or because you started
Yeah,
working?
yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
started working on the employee manual. Yeah, because I mean, you know, I'm like you, not to the point where I went to halfway houses. I just had family that came out of halfway houses, so I hired them instead. And so that's what my job, like my business was. It was just, you know, hiring, giving everybody that was on the streets with us a chance, and
Yeah,
that yeah, it doesn't go far.
it doesn't, man. And I
Um,
wish it did. I swear to God, I wish it did.
and then now, I mean, now you know, I got family working, and that's tough too.
Yeah,
That's tough.
yeah. But like
Yeah.
having an employee handbook and say, look, man, I'm I ain't building this company for me. I'm building it for you, the employee. But it's for my family. Uh, and you can either help me or you got to get out of the way. But I can't let you hold me back because you're stealing from my family. And
Absolutely.
when you're honest with them, I mean, most people understand that.
Yeah. And they know whether they, you know, yeah, you're 100% right. Like I just got 5 of them printed up um the other day, so tomorrow I'm gonna hand them out.
Yeah, good for you, brother. And then go through
Um,
them with them. And and what did you change about it, or what did you add?
I changed a few things. I don't have it in front of me, but just like I wanna eventually get these guys, you know, like some type of medical. I mean, I know I'm a one man circus at, well, two
Yeah,
man with you, but but eventually I want to, you know, I want to be that real company that
yeah,
you know those rock stars do want to come work for.
yeah.
Um, but I put that in there. Um, what else? I mean, everything else was in there. Like I pretty much kept it the same.
Yeah. But let me like because you touched on it, but like hiring family is one thing, and a lot of guys will say don't hire family, blah blah blah. And I think they say that one because I'll say, man, how come? Show me your manual. Oh, what do you mean my manual? Show me your owner's your employee handbook. It's like because if you're hiring in family is well, I don't know. You wish you could trust them, but you know, who knows? You can nowadays. But if it's in the freaking manual, it doesn't matter who you hire. They either go along with the manual, they go along with the handbook, they go along with your future plans, or they don't. Uh, and that goes to one of the biggest challenges I had before I put all this shit together was I ended up becoming too friendly with my employees
Mm-hmm.
to where they thought, oh man, hey dude, loan me $1,000, loan me $500, loan me. I'm like, dude, like,
Thank you.
and I was like, man, I don't know. It's like, and then they get mad. Oh man, I know you like, I'm like, and then
I'm making you all this money.
yeah, and shit, one of the guys, like, I bought my wife like 1999. I bought my wife the Durango with the third seat in the back. That thing's like a freaking rocket. And one of the guys got mad because he wanted to borrow it and drive up to Santa Barbara for the weekend. And my wife is like, have they lost their fucking mind? It's great. And I still want to be friends with them and keep their goals and stuff. But I do now keep the separation a little bit. But it makes it. I didn't have the manuals back then. I didn't have the employee handbook back then, so I wasn't able to direct them back and go, "Hey, man, this is like, no, man, we can't. This here, like, here's what I expect out of you." That kind of thing. It just makes it a lot easier because it ain't like you're just bringing something up out of the blue. And when you go over it in the beginning, it just cuts down on not everything. I'm telling you, these manuals. They take away 80% of all the challenges and mistakes you're going to make. Not all of them. They just cut down on them and you learn a little bit. That's why next week when we go through how to make it a habit to use these things every day is so important. And it looks like Caesar done fell off. Anything before we get out of here? I just like I don't know. I think I posted in our message group that I had a big conversation with Caesar. I don't know how I'm sure he speaks fluent Spanish. Does he? Does he, Doug?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but so I told him because my wife speaks fluent Spanish. I said, hey man, I said you about to go to work? She said, what do you mean? I said, all those manuals that I have that I'm offering to the contractors, I said, I'm getting ready to translate them all into Spanish. And she was like, what? How come? I said, honestly, I don't know. I said, maybe I could ask ChatGPT or Google or something. I said, but it seems like the majority of construction companies may be Spanish owned. And that may be a bigger market than these rednecks I'm trying to reach out to. And she was laughing. She was like, she goes, well, what do you need me to do? I said, I don't know. I said, I'm talking to a couple of people who say they can translate it for me. I said, but if I don't got you how the hell I'm going to check it?
I mean, I would throw it in Chat GPT and say translate to Spanish, and then just have Blanca read it.
Have her look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I think Windows will do that for you. I think there's a tab.
maybe. I'm looking at a couple of different things because I want my because I had already talked about doing the books. For contractors only. I was going to do that. I was going to have it redone in Spanish, and I wanted to do the Facebook ads book in Spanish, and the contractors only book because I had never thought about it. And I went out to Texas. Meeting with some contractors, and I met at a big supply house, and the dude in Texas, he was like, hey man, let's work out a deal. He was talking about wanting to buy several thousand books if I had them translated into Spanish because his biggest market was Spanish. And I was like, God damn, that's a good idea. And I've been dragging my ass with life and this ranch and doing the comedy and all the other shit I shouldn't be doing to where now it just makes sense. And here, especially here in California, it's just like the Spanish market is, the majority of the guys that used to work for me and still work for me, Spanish. I got one dude that's been with me since freaking 98. That dude was like 20 years old, couldn't speak a lick of English. And now he still tries to act like he can't. And I'm like, Rudy, you know what the hell I'm saying? But he just got his we're supposed to go to a big party next week. He just got his 2-year residency card. And then if he doesn't get in any trouble, and he's a good guy. After the 2-year thing, it'll turn into a permanent residence card, or he'll pay whatever that freaking fee is to become a citizen. Because my wife is not a citizen. My wife just has a permanent residence card and just didn't want to spend the money to be the citizen. And now she wants to spend the money. I said, why? So you can go vote? And she's like, no, because I want to go buy my own gun. I'm tired of using your gun. I said, all right, good. That's a good enough reason. But yeah, I think it's I think if I translate it all into Spanish and have her go through it, and no matter who does it, there's I guess my wife talks, more like street Spanish than the Spanish from Spaniards and shit. It's a real elegant, crazy Spanish. Because my wife will hear someone sometimes and say, "Oh shit, they're educated." I guess that, and so
You gotta tell Chat GPT to do it, but in like George Lopez tone or something.
Yeah, exactly. And write this like George Lopez would say it. But it'd be full of profanity, I guess. So we'll see what happens. But it is. So it's all there. And that's what I'm trying to push. And again, I just said work with the people who deserve it, not the ones you think need it. And over the last 5 years, I've met a lot of contractors. Some of them have bought the books. Some of them had, did the website, and we'll help them with this and that. I don't know. I just, went back and forth, and I kind of wish that they would do things different, but you can't make them. And that's frustrating. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to start selling these manuals to everybody, and you're going to be left behind. It's like, do these content videos or you're going to be left behind. Do this or you're going to be left behind. And like, no matter how much I ask them to do shit, I can't do it for them. And it's like, I'm tired of wasting my time because for whatever reason, we became friends over the last 5 years through Facebook or the internet or a couple of coaching sessions or something. And I've been doing pretty good. And I'm going to because, as of April the 1st, I give myself a 90-day run, 3 months. That's a season to be extremely disciplined and consistent. And that's where it is. And that's what I'll talk about next week on how to turn these manuals into a habit. It's discipline and consistency in every area of your life. And we'll get into it next week, but each of these manuals have their place in your business. And there'll be some seasons, there'll be some months, some years that you need to focus on the employee handbook. There'll be other seasons, other years that you need to focus on the office manager. There'll be a couple of months that you may need to just because there's no such thing as balance. And I'm gonna do a couple of hours every day. It's wherever you're at in your business and wherever you're struggling or wherever you want to improve, that's where you need to show your attention. And we'll go over that next week. Hey, Caesar, it looks like you're back in there with us, man. Hey, have you went through the employee handbook? Anything you want to share before we get out of here with the employee handbook?
Lost the reception here. Can you repeat that, please?
Is there anything that you want to go over with the employee handbook? Have you went through it? Have you had a chance?
Yes, sir. I'm, working on it again, to go over through again a little more deep now than before.
Hey, Carl.
I gotta be going out to, yeah.
Go ahead. That phone call that we had the other day, man. You said you woke up at 3 o'clock, like with like a revelation or something. Like, man, this, because you had you bought into the manual systems with your daughter and growing the business, but you said you woke up like out of the blue, going, "Wait a minute, this makes sense now."
Yeah, it is totally, because how you call. I think without those manuals, without the system, you don't have a business. You're just, self-employed and working on it, but it's not take you nowhere, in the future if you don't have that system. Because like you say, if I get tired, and I don't know, even if I had the business for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and by the time I come, and I want to sell something, the only thing I'm gonna be able to sell is the equipment. Because, when they come to business and you come and ask me, okay, what you got, or, what's your, clientele, or what you do, or this and that, and I'm going to be like, I don't know. I just answer the phone and go and do estimates and do the work. And I make this amount of monthly money. But that's going to be like just to have my, self-employed thing, not really a business. I need to have all these things in order, accordingly to, like you say, either sell it or pass it to the next generation. Here, this is how you're going to do it.
Yeah. Especially I see a lot of dads and their son arguing, and it's really because they don't have any manuals, any systems. And the dad is telling the kid, well, we do this, we do that. And then the next month, the dad's telling him something different. And the son's like, well, shit, I thought we did this or we did that. And the son's watching YouTube videos and trying to do it his way. And they just, in the last 5 years, I've had at least 10 contractors call me, and it's either the son fired or quit the dad, and now he's doing his own thing, or the dad fired the son and now he's trying to rebuild his own, and that breaks my heart. I'm like, man, how can a father and son not grow the business together? I mean, what what the F is going on? You're either, you know, it's like something's going on, but most of the time it's you don't have anything written down on structurally of how we're going to grow the business, what we expect out of each other, all of that stuff. And it is, I mean, I swear to God, like, I don't take it for granted. If you sit down and you try to make these manuals from scratch, I know how much work it is because I did it. And I bugged a lot of people because back then we didn't have the internet. And I'd go to seminar and I'd go to business things, and some people would have something, and I'm like, man, that don't have anything to do with my business. And then you look at the, I even went back, like, because my first job was McDonald's. And that's the whole premise with the E-Myth is you should have systems in place to where a 15-year-old can run your business. And Michael Gerber say, don't tell me that it can't be done, because McDonald's, that huge, you know, billion dollar company, is ran by 15 and 16-year-olds, all because they follow this freaking systems in the manuals. And that always made sense to me, but I always thought, well, where the hell do you get the systems? Where do you get the manuals? Where do you get this? But, and it's a pain. Like, back then it was either typewriters, and then Microsoft Word came out, and that made it a lot easier for me because it had spell check. And I can't spell nothing. Nothing. I did one event, and I had my whiteboard up, and I was taking questions from the audience and trying to write down the answers. And my wife brought everything to a fucking halt. And so from then on, I always brought someone out of the audience. I said, all right, who's going to write down these answers for me? You got good handwriting that they can read it. Because I couldn't spell shit. My wife said, you just making yourself look retarded. I said, well, one, we can't use that word no more. She said, and she was right. I'll tell you, you guys don't understand how much my wife plays a part in all of my businesses. And because she was like, look, man, like, as smart as you are, you can teach these people so much stuff, but you up there and you can't spell, you know, the word shit without, you're trying to write shirt and you're writing down shit.
Yeah, I don't have that.
And my wife would like, you can't do that. And so I had to bring somebody up and they write it down. But Microsoft Word made it, you know, it had the spell check if I could get close, and I couldn't even get close enough for it to do spell check. And then, like, it really helped was I started using my phone. So I would speak into my phone, and then that would show me which words I was trying to spell. But normally it's like, there's always a way. I'm telling you, if I did it, anybody can fucking do it. That's all I'm saying. It's like, all you're doing is making up excuses on why you can't do it. And now that I've let loose and started offering these manuals to people, there's really no reason not to take these manuals and get the fill in the blank one. Maybe that I sent the fill in the blank one to Anthony up in Sunshine Design, and he knows my manuals because he's had my manuals for a long time. You know, because he's been a student of mine for years, and he took my manuals and translated them into the general contracting world. But he said, my God, man, your manuals are great, but this fill in the blank takes it to a whole nother level. Good for you. He said, man, you've been busy. What? He goes, and he made a little video about it, or not about it, but just, you know, there's no reason not to take your business, even if you're just self-employed and you never get past that. I think these manuals are a good idea just for your own sanity, to remind yourself and once you start going through them, it makes you want to build a better business, I guess. I hope. Anything before we get out of here? Anything about the whole last 4 or 5 weeks that we had a couple of, you know, pre-events, 6 or 7 of them. But what are you guys taking away from this? What do you want to hear about next week? What's going on?
I'm still taking it all in.
I will say this, I'm getting ready to do a couple of videos about it just for the internet, but this has been the slowest we've been since 2008. And I think 2008, we were probably busier only because so many homes were in foreclosure, and we had a lot of investors calling us because the homes that were being foreclosed on, when the homeowners were leaving, they were screwing everything up, floors, drywall, everything. So we stayed busy because of the internet. This has been slow for a lot of different reasons. we're playing catch up because of COVID and the fake money that all of that shit, the tariffs, of this, of that. But at the same time, you know, I'm telling my daughter and her partner, I said, you guys, I said, once we get through this, and I've been in construction, you know, since 83, 84. I've seen every up and down, all of it. And this kind of excites me because, man, when we get to the other side of this, we're going to have an 8-year run that's going to be unfucking believable. And I'm telling people, man, get all your ducks in a row and be ready. I mean, and you can look at the stock market. You can go back and look at all the history. It's always the correction, the recorrection, the lows, the recession, maybe there's no way to always grow. The economy has to take a dump, and COVID really screwed a lot of things up, and then just all of it. It's just been a really weird, I don't know what, 4, 8, 12 years. And so when we get to the other side of this, and it may be this time next year, hopefully not. I'm thinking 6, 7, 8 months, but we do know from history. But man, when we hit that low, it's like jumping off of a roof, hitting a trampoline, and skyrocketing for the next 8 years. The phone's going to be ringing off the hook, and you're going to be trying to compete with the employees, just like the COVID days. Nobody needed my help with marketing because the phone was ringing off the hook. Now, and I kept screaming, hey, do this, do that, make the content, do that. We just get ready, it's coming. It's like this, like no, these good times ain't ever going to end. I was like, all right. And now they're like, hey man, could you do that Google ad thing? I'm like, dude, it's too late. Where's the content? Where's the this? Where's the that? And I don't know if I did a video or watched the video where the guys, a couple of these marketing guys, I may have showed it to you guys. If not, I got to find it. Oh yeah, I did. Like Dimitri and stuff. I sent you guys that video with Dimitri, and I'm going to download that video, and I'm going to do my own video where I'm watching his video and then and talking about his video as we watch it together. It was a pleasure. Did anybody take the time to watch it? It's like it's all the marketing
you're talking about.
Yeah, the marketing video.
Yeah, I sent it to the Facebook Messenger group, but my God, man, it was such a freaking relief to see him screaming everything that I scream. And I started watching his stuff probably 6 years ago. And he's got that cool accent. I don't know where he's from. Maybe I don't know where the hell he's. Do you know where he's from, Doug?
I don't know where he's from.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. He sounds like he's European.
He's definitely European, like something, a Russian, some shit.
Yeah, some one of those small ex-Russian countries.
Yeah, something like that. But
yeah, he was he was like, I already made those videos.
Yeah. I'll repost it and send you guys the link, but I'm gonna because I almost didn't send the link to you guys because like I said, I'm gonna play the video and I'm gonna make a video of me watching his video and going over everything because it's everything that I've been screaming for the last friggin' 2004 since Google came online, or since I started using Google, but and then YouTube and all the other shit. But then I thought, no, man, these guys need to see this video right now. So I'll post a link again so you guys make it easier for you guys to find. All right, man, we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to say something. I'm gonna hit stop the video. Anything to say or share before we get out of here? Hey, is there anything in these manuals that you wish that's not in there that you think I should have put in there? That's a question.
I mean, you got the manuals are going to branch off into other like manuals as well, like the training manuals, the training SOPs.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know if it should have been added or it's just going to be branches off of the manual.
And what I'd like to do is I'm gonna bug all of you guys and we'll jump on here together, just one-on-one, and do like a little 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute, no more than 5-minute, little 5-minute video of what you got out of going through the program and how you're using the manuals and all of that stuff. We'll just do like a little conversation back and forth. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yep.
All right, guys, reach out to me. I'm going to go in there right now and repost that freaking video so you can watch it. It's freaking, you should watch it over and over again.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
See you next week.